Hi everyone, my name is Ferit. We are from Paris. You have a look over the Eiffel Tower from my apartment right now. And maybe we are seeing each other already on tours. Well, that's my place. The girls are playing at the back. And this is my kitchen, so nothing fancy. I'm growing some plants. I'm having the seeds that I'm eating, sprouts, if you want to have a look, right? Growing some of the tomatoes things, drawing some orange peels, and soon this is Lena. Hey Lena. Okay, still sleeping. And we're going to have the crepes today. So we are going to have all of our tools here. The recipe that I took from my notebook. Actually, in that notebook I also have like some poetry. I mix both recipes and poetry in it, so I can always read while I'm cooking. Well, today it's crepes, so they shouldn't be too much waiting time. The tripod I'm going to use. So what's important right now is that we have got flour, we've got eggs, we've got milk. That's the three major ingredients in it. And what my grandma used to do is to take an orange peel. So we're going to add this into a softened butter as well, a bit of butter. And so that's going to be it. So I hope everything's fine with you. I'm going to start this little presentation. Oh, that's it. So I hope you're doing well. I'm coming back in 2 seconds as well, so I can watch the comments or anything.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So Josephine is with me today. The first thing we're gonna do, I don't really know what cups are in English, so I'm going to weigh things. As you can see, boom, we've got the flour here. What I'm doing, I never want to actually clean my weight all the time, so I just keep everything in these boxes that I'm storing really efficiently, and I put 0 on my weight. And what we want to do is to actually take out of this, and it's going to go below 0. So the beginning is 250 grams of flour. It's a bit more than 2 cups. And anytime you do something with flour, you want to actually pass it through these things. And I think Lena wants to help us a little bit. So Lena is going to help us, right? Tu veux faire, Lena? Tiens. Hop. It's coming back. So you can do it gentle tap like this. Up. But you can also just tap like this. Chuck, 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 chuck. Tu veux faire? Vas-y, vas-y. Tape plus fort. Yeah, it's a bit too gentle with a lovely hand. Up, up, up. Up. You can also, yeah, do like this. Obviously, I don't have enough flour yet. Right? So, yeah. I'm going to put some more. I've got 73 grams so far. The equivalent of maybe half a cup, like 3/4 of a cup. So it's about 2 cups something. In the event description, I had put all the ingredients in cups as well. It's really weird to me to use cups. We don't really, in France it's all in grams, and we have to cope with it. One weight, we all have a weight in our scale in our home. When next time we go to Normandy, I'm going to show you these old weights, like really these copper things. Yeah. Shake it, shake it. Sunday afternoon. Crepes are super easy. It's going to be done within half an hour. Normally you're supposed to let the dough rest, so we're just going to cook a few, and then we are going to leave the dough to rest so that you can actually cook it later today. And you can keep the dough 1 or 2 days max. And when you do so, usually it thickens a little bit because the amidon out of the starch out of the flour, the starch out of the flour is getting out, so it thickens the entire dough, and so we can just add some more water later when you cook it after 1 or 2 days. And it's super easy to do it with your children. So as you see, I don't have a fancy kitchen. I'm not a professional cook, right? Like nothing really fancy, really. And I don't tend to buy super expensive stuff. I think that most of the recipes you don't need it, and that most of the great recipes used to be done with what you can actually. It forces you to be a bit more creative with your tools. So that's it. We're going to leave it for 2 seconds. Nothing will happen with that. What we want to do now is to actually get a lot of taste into our dough, right? And what kind of taste can we get? This is why normally to do crepes is just flour, eggs and milk. And so I'm going to add butter, and I'm going to add, it's 50 grams. I don't know how much is it in cups, but maybe half a cup of butter. I don't know, it's really small. It's in the description of I found it earlier. And a zest of an orange onto it. If you remember, our perfumes used to be made. We used to actually put the flowers on the fat, right, that we could find, and the perfume of the flowers used to get stuck to the fat of whatever fat we were using. If you go to Grasse in the southeast of France, you can really see that. And so we're going to use the same principle. Where you're going to put the zest into the molten butter. So I'm just going to take the butter and into the microwave for a few seconds, right? Maybe 30 seconds. But 50 seconds. Let's give it a go. In the meantime, so welcome to my place. If you cannot use zest, if you don't have a zest, what I'm always doing when I'm eating an orange is to make it dry, sun dry it at the windows. And after I dry it, I'm using this thing. This is a coffee grinder, an old-fashioned coffee grinder. And so with this coffee grinder, I'm making a powder out of these orange peels. And so when I get this, it gives you a little powder like this, and super smelling. Tu veux sentir? Ça sent l'orange, Lena? And so it smells the orange quite a lot. And I'm trying to only buy fruit seasonally. So orange, this is almost the end of the seasons. They are like coming from Spain, Portugal, but yeah. So now we have the molten butter. Let's look at this, right? You see the foam. Some people remove the foam, some people keep it. I want to make things simple. So the first thing we do is to take, up. Yeah, I have to change. I don't like to change. I have to wait the summer for all these volcans to happen. So that I can find new things, because I'm almost buying secondhand stuff. yeah, a bit. I've got a reluctant orange. It must be French, doesn't want to work. Well, things happen sometimes. So, I don't put sugar. That's it, girl. I don't put sugar inside the dough because sugar makes it stick. I'm not using non-sticky pans because I don't like to have plastic Teflon put on my pans, and usually a pan that's not with plastic on it will last longer. The pan I'm going to use today is the one that has been given to me by my mom for the presentation. She has had it for a good 20 years now, and it's cast iron. I mean, this is the... And cast iron doesn't stick if you like use it properly. It won't stick actually. So non-sticky pan to me is a myth. I mean, of course they work. I mean, I used to have some as well, but you don't necessarily need it. So the thing is that now you see I have this a bit of molten butter with the orange peel in it, and I have to let it cool down, because if you put it too warm right now inside the dough, what's going to happen is that you are going to cook the flour, and if you cook the flour, you are going to have the same reaction as when you are trying to do a flan or a crème pâtissière, and you don't want that. It means, and there is not enough butter here to do so, you're going to thicken a part of your dough. So this is not what we want. We want to have a nice well in the middle of our flour, up like this, and we let this cool down, and we're going to take 3 eggs. The eggs that I'm using today are my favorite eggs. This is coming directly from my parents' house, like from the old family house that has got chickens and that I got chicken. So you can see it doesn't come from like industry. We just write the date on it. So it's 7th of April. It's not 4th of July last year. We write the day before the month. And so eventually what happened is that this is a fresh egg, and what I mean by fresh egg, it's not coming from my fridge. It's just the fact that it has been laid less than 5 days before, and so less than a week you can still consider a fresh egg. And so the result is, I never break onto the side. You break up, you turn, and it makes a nice cut here. And so you can see there is like a lot of wonderful egg white, and that egg white actually is still pretty much tied together. We're going to put 3 eggs one after another, and Lena is going to help us, because right now, to avoid having these little bubbles of flour, we have to mix it carefully from the center, and bit by bit add 1 egg after another to make sure we don't have these things at the end. Non, on mélange pas tous les nains. On tourne au milieu. Up, and we make sure that it is like consistent and homogeneous all throughout the thing. If you had the milk before, if you put the milk at the bottom, you had the flour after, it's going to be a mess. So I do it a little bit more. You see, it starts to be up. Okay, good. We had the second egg. And the third one, let's go for it. So, good crepes are always a balance of these 3 ingredients. And with the problems that you will encounter when you are going to start to cook it, we will know which ingredient to add or to remove from the dough. And so this is like, for example, if your crepe starts to break in the middle of the process, that means that maybe there is not enough eggs, or your eggs were not good enough. So it's like the albumin that's like keeping things together is not working well for your crepe. Maybe it's going to be too light, or it's things like this. You can like, or it's too thick, you have to add a bit more milk, and so on and so on. So you see, it's rather homogeneous. It makes like a real dough, and that's it. That starts to be good, right? So now we're going to add 500 milliliters, so the equivalent of a pint of milk. I don't have anything to measure the liquids, so what I'm doing is I'm using these cups up, and I know that the line is 100 milliliters up, and so that's it. We add it bit by bit from the center up, and then I'm going to mix it. It's so easy. Crepes, you know, why do I do crepes today? Is because I have so many questions on where to get the best crepes in Paris. And you know, as a Frenchman, it's really painful to me to answer this question, because crepes is like, it was supposed to be done, it was always supposed to be cheap. I mean, you have a bit of flour, you have like few eggs from your chickens, and you have a bit of milk from the cow that's like from your neighbor. That's it. You don't need anything else. And then you put whatever you can on it. Sugar, where like, sugar, bananas, chocolate, these kind of things, were added way later. And so this is really like a simplest recipe. My grandma just used to have these butter and orange peels together when she was doing it to add a bit more flavor. But when you think about it, it's supposed to be cheap. And so I know it's cheap. I mean, even if it's 2-3 euros when you go to the streets of Paris, it's still painful to me to spend like 3 or 5 euros into a crepe I can do at home for less than 1 euro. You see, it's like for like few cents in the end. Okay. Third cup with 2 more to go after that. One. Vas-y là. And you add it bit by bit. You never, when you have flour and liquid at the same time, add all the ingredients together, because you never know, right? I don't know why is it like this, because sometimes you add doucement là, parce que là ça va sortir. Because sometimes you add everything together, but for some reason, even if you respect everything, the texture is not going to be the one you want. And so liquid, you should add the liquid bit by bit, so that you get the texture, exact texture you want. I'm going to cook it right away, right? This is like the fast version. But if you want to keep it, you can, as I said, you can keep it for 1 or 2 days. If you get sick, it's not my problem what's in your fridge. But if you want to keep it, you can. And usually we prepare the dough quickly at night without the kids. And the next day we just cook it. And so you just have to add a bit of water. Hop. Hop. Tu mélanges si tu veux. Tu peux mélanger. And we all love it. Kids love it. Parents love it. Usually we do this like in January. Hop. Last cup of milk. Oh, tu veux du lait? Also for the milk. So for those who live in Paris and in France, who lived in France, I'm using this one. Well, it's the cheap version, right? It's from Lidl, the cheapest supermarket around. And this is like supposedly paying the farmers well. The butter. In France, I'm always using like specific butters. Or it's from Isigny. This is from like not too far from where my family is from. This is a Normandy butter from Normandy. And when you see these little logos, no matter you buy it inside the cheapest supermarket, or inside the nice market that I just went in this morning. And so wait. So I have some questions here. Sorry, I have. Is it fresh milk? So well, it's full milk. It's not fresh milk. Fresh milk is hard to get. To be honest with you, you have to go to a crèmerie somewhere like to buy cheese and something like that, because fresh milk has to be what is it called? Fresh milk has to be kept in a fridge. So that's it. For the butter, I'm using Isigny butter, and for the milk, it's half a liter. So 250 grams of flour for half a liter of milk. This is how it goes. So you see, normally I don't have these grumeaux, I don't know how you call this, these rocks of flour in it. And now the butter is cooled and we have these orange zests in it. Vas-y. Hop, tu mets tout. Look at this. It looks bad, right? It looks bad for the arterial. Just for you to know, fat doesn't make you fat. It's sugar which does. This is a wonderful myth that we don't have in France, right? This is why we still eat a lot of sugar in desserts. But when you eat when you eat this much butter, it doesn't matter. You cannot digest. You cannot take that much butter, that much fat into your body anyway per day. You can only process a certain amount because of the what's in your liver. I don't go into too much detail, so it doesn't matter. If it looks a bit fat, it doesn't matter at all. We have, and it's good fat. Look at this, right? From Isigny, it's a lovely place in Normandy, and it gives a wonderful texture and a lot of flavors into your crepe. So if you want to cheat and make it quick, you can have some of these powdered orange skin that I dried over time, and it gives a lot of time with this. Saint-Malo, we are going to do next time, we're going to do crêpe with sarrasin, which doesn't involve milk. And this is vanilla, right? There's in a syrup. And so eventually, I'm not going to use it today because I put the orange, but you can put vanilla instead of the orange, or you can also put orange flower taste. And so now, guess what? Look at this. It's lovely. Our crepe dough is finished. So let's clean everywhere, because look at this, right? We just cooked 5 minutes for the presentation and we have got a mess here. So one last thing I wanted to, how much butter? I put 50 grams of butter, 50 grams. I forgot to put a pinch of salt in it. So what is a pinch of salt to me? That's it. That's little. Vas-y. Ensuite tu mélanges, d'accord? Et moi je vais ranger. So you've got 250 grams of flour, half a liter of milk, 3 eggs, 50 grams of butter, a pinch of salt, a zest of orange, and then you can cheat on the flavors a little bit. So now I'm going to clean everything. It leaves you a bit of time. Yes, yeah, exactly. Eau de fleur d'oranger. It gives a taste of Middle East as well, of north of Mediterranean and so on. So let's organize a little bit our kitchen space. Up. Tac. I'm going to use that thing. And you know what? This is my favorite above all, right? I bought this one when I was 4 years old, when I was the age of Lena. And I remember I saw my grandmother using these kind of things. And when we came back from Normandy, I said to my mom, I want this. And I made, this kind of massive fuss to get that stuff. I don't know how you call this in English. Then it's a mess with the kids, but it's lovely to do. I'll keep the milk next to me, because you never know if it's too thick at some point. I just organize the salt. We're going to wipe a bit before I put my pan. And so this is not a non-sticky pan. But you can use, of course, a non-sticky pan. And tac. And my grandmother and my mother were cheating on this non-stickiness. We are using both a tiny for the first time. Yeah, I know. Sabrina, you should get a helper at home as well. So we have got a little bit of oil, tack, and a bit of butter together. And the thing is that we're going to leave this to warm up. Léna, tu fais attention, ça va chauffer. D'accord? Ouais. If you have got induction plates, what you can do, if it's like up to 15, I'm putting on 8. And usually, it doesn't matter the heat of your pan, really. You see, up, oil and butter together. It doesn't matter the heat of your pan. What matters is which speed you want to work at. And if you are a professional, when you see them in the markets, they can always play on this, right? Faster, slower, it doesn't matter really. It's called a ladle, this thing. So now it's like this. And look, I just took a little bit of paper. It's not the best paper, you know, there's these wipes in paper that you can have. And you do this. Up, leave it there. There is a legend in France that says that the first one is always like a fail, right? But imagine you're a professional crepe maker. Can you waste crepes after crepes after crepes after crepes every single time you are doing it? Of course not. So it depends. I'm not saying that the first one is not going to be failed, but well, let's have a look at this, right? Boom. And now, attendez. So, you have your dough ready. The pan is hot. It starts to smoke. When it starts to smoke, you can go for it, but it's going to be quick. It has to be well fat. And then you have the lovely plate that waits for the crepes to come. The most important tool you need now are two things. This is what we call a tuile. And so it's a flat pan. But you see, it's not thick at all. It's like 1 inch high on the side. And when I go to Normandy, I even like flatter ones, une tuile. And so une tuile à crêpes. And so I'm using this spatula. It's a bit of butter on it. See, it's quite flat. I can bend it a little bit to go at the bottom. And I'm not going to do fancy leverage with this one. I'm just going this efficient. Okay. So now, where's my paper? Oh, I'll make sure that it's evenly fat because when you warm it up, it's going to go on all the sides. And now, this is the. Attendez là. Non. Pas cette fois. Le prochain coup, okay? So, up, you turn. Up. That's it. Up. Perfect. Look at this. Smokes well. It's on 8 out of 15 on my induction plate now. And also, what's really amazing with cast iron is that it reacts really well with induction. I love induction. Yeah, after gas, it's my favorite stuff. So you see, good. Wow, with my little helper, we didn't get these out, but this is not too good to have these, right? It's a bit of flour. Ah no, this is the zest. Great. Okay, the trick now. When am I supposed to get it out? Now, I'm going to zoom a little bit. You see this side? This side is slightly peeling out itself. And this is the moment, you can do this. Quietly, gently on both sides. I'm not putting force, look at my hand. I'm holding this thing like this. And then you lift it with your hand, you go underneath. Simple, easy peasy, okay? Smells amazing.
Ouais, ce sont les crêpes. On va manger les crêpes.
Ouais, on va manger les crêpes. T'es contente, Léna? Oui,
Cuisinier des crêpes.
Je suis le meilleur cuisinier des crêpes, so I got lucky this today.
Tu fais bien les crêpes. Papa, un jour, je pourrai faire des crêpes toute
See,
seule.
I will put a bit more heat because I would like to have a little burn to it.
On va le mettre dans cette
A
assiette.
tiny bit of burn to it because the
On va le mettre
bitterness.
dans cette assiette.
Ouais, on va la mettre dans cette assiette because the bitterness goes really well with the sweetness that will come with whatever sugar, whatever paste that you put on it. So far, so good. Can you do it at the same time, or you're not even trying? I don't have too many feedback on how many people are doing it. Next time, maybe we do a Zoom meeting so I can see what you are doing at the same time. Up, that's it. Boom. And there is up. Look at this. It's perfect. Right? This is the texture you should get at home. So now, look at the pan. The fat is not evenly spread. You have a bit of smoke. That's great. So,
Je peux mettre.
ouais, j'arrive. Il faut. So it's hot. Now it's too hot, maybe. So you lift it up a little bit. Wait for the smoke to disappear. Okay, go for it, Lena. Vas-y, 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 vas-y. So what happens now? You see, slightly fade, then you cheat. Boom. You have the right to do anything. You're at home. It doesn't matter. You know, there is a woman that really inspired me on this, and I really love her comments. It's Julia Childs, right? Nobody sees it. The only problem is that what we got today is we have got the open kitchen, so everybody knows what you are doing. But well, it's fine. Nobody's going to judge my crepe skill now. I'm 31, I don't care. C'est bien joué, Léna. Tu m'as piqué.
Moi aussi, je vais le mettre.
Nice, 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 nice. You see, it's a bit too thick where I cheated. And that's it. Now, when people are going to ask me, where can I get the best crepe? Oh, this is nice. You see, it makes a map of the moon. Right, with the burn on the side. It's not too burn. It's caramelized. There is no sugar in it, remember. And so it's the burn of the flour that comes, because there is a bit of
La
sugar
meilleure
trapped inside the flour.
recette. Je fais ça tout que
You're welcome, Melinda.
je
Years of practice, you know. Up, and this is how it should look like on the other side. You see, slightly burn on the crust, and up. Now, the most important thing: you don't add fat. You just put this, right? You take care with your fingers. Up, it's too warm, burning. This is why. Léna, vas-y. Tu peux mettre là. Je le fais.
Non, moi.
Vas-y, 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 vas-y. Parce que du coup. So you see, that's there is a trouble here. This is the second one in a row that I'm not finishing when I'm doing my turn. So what's the problem? The problem is that it's too hot. Because it's too hot, the dough is cooked only on the beginning and then it stops. And so also a second thing, the texture that you have now is, you see it's still a bit thick. I like them slightly lighter, is because we didn't leave them to rest. The dough hasn't rested yet. The best is to leave the dough to rest. The flavors of the zest, everything is going to come up with time. The best is to, as I said, do it the night before, let it rest overnight, cooking in the morning for breakfast, and it comes in 2 seconds. You can even prepare like for 2-3 days, and it's going to be great. And you just cut it with a bit of water. Up. That's it.
barre.
Tu veux goûter ça, là?
Moi.
C'est neutral. Don't let the kids do this. You can burn yourself. I burnt myself so many times doing that. But, you see? Cast iron pan. It's not sticky at all. And I just put once a bit of butter and a bit of fat. Still too hot. Well, this part of the process is better to do it yourself, like than with someone to do it for you.
La petite crêpe.
One day, not today, I would love you to have you tried already to do these ones. I'm going to use the T thing to do that on the flat surface because it's another technique. It's a bit more complicated. So now, I've got 3 crepes. I'm going to spare you the next 20-40 minutes, but maybe we can do a try. Right? Up, back. I'm going to switch to the crepe side of the world. So, now,
No.
what is it? We want to add toppings to the crepes.
On a presque fini.
Look,
On a presque fini, papa.
do you see it?
On a presque fini.
You see it comes out a little bit on the side. So,
Moi. Moi.
vas-y. Look, even a kid can do it normally. It's on my hands. Vas-y, 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 vas-y. Ouais, vas-y, vas-y, vas-y. Super.
C'est presque bien fait.
Hi there, Acadians. Basically, you have French who traveled, right? Can you flip the crepe for good luck? You want that I flip the crepe like this? Olé! That's it. Boom. Fais attention, Léna, te brûle pas. Hop. Tu veux la prendre? Tiens. Tu fais attention, c'est très chaud.
Non, non.
Hop, that's it. How to burn your kid easily.
C'est bon.
Our godfather is an emergency doctor, an amazing man.
Je peux mettre?
Non, cette fois, on va baisser la temperature. Baisser la temperature, sorry. So we go to 4 or 5, just to keep the pan hot. You see this? Tack, tack. So it's slightly smoking. It should stop soon, right? So we've got our crepe. It goes back on it. It doesn't cook anymore. It's just warm. Why is it warm? Because we want to take a nut of butter, right? And you go softly, right? I don't put force on it. You see I'm holding this. Basically, just the weight of the tool is put on it, but because of the warmth of the pan, the butter melts nicely. It makes these wonderful sounds on the side, the crispiness of the side, up. And now, you don't need more than just... Hop, I take a bit of sugar. 1 cup. Ok, Léna, vas-y, t'inquiète pas. A coffee spoon. Like, that's it. A coffee spoon of sugar. Attends, Léna. Je te la donne. Up, that's it. And you shake it. Let's look at how Léna does it. If it's too concentrated at the center, you just take your spoon calmly and you spread it. Right?
Okay.
And that's €2.50. Thank you for watching. Hop, attends, c'est encore chaud. Hop, look. Attends, tiens, prends la cuillère. Check, it's a bit hot. I put it on the side. Now, second crepe. So we put it in. It doesn't matter the side, really. Maybe you can put the side that's the least burned, right? Same thing, I take my butter. Tack. I spread my butter here. It starts to be shiny. Pack. And I'm getting a cold spoon of jam.
Jammy,
And this is homemade jam from my mom, right? She loves to put these stickers, made 10th of September 2020. And this is apple and black currant. No, mûr, it's blackberry, sorry. And blackberry. Jolly is because we use the apple corn inside the thing. And you just take a little bit of it. It's warm, so it's going to make this thing melt down, hopefully. It doesn't melt, it doesn't matter, you just put more. That's it. Look at that, isn't that amazing? Boom, 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 boom. And so, if you want to roll something, it's a friend told me, you just flip it here. It's sticking with the butter, and then you roll it in that way, so that you understood you see, up. It's not going to get out at the bottom. I do it again, just to show how to roll something with jam in it, so it doesn't go everywhere. Pop, you just flip one side, and then you roll this way. Tack, and that's it. And there you go with your breakfast tomorrow. Yeah, I love to roll them up. So, that's it. That's it for today. I hope you enjoy. Ouais, on va manger maintenant, Léna. T'inquiète pas, Léna, on va tout manger maintenant. And I hope that you enjoyed this little presentation about crepes. And that's it. Maybe next time I wanted to cook cordon bleu and have like cordon bleu recipes. So maybe we can do that. We can do anything really. I love to spend time cooking. And if you have any ideas, I'm fine. And I love to cook. So that's it. I hope that you enjoy your crepes and have a really nice evening, a nice breakfast tomorrow. See you. Take care of yourselves.